I left a career that I loved for the money, and here's why. 10 years ago, I had to make a decision whether or not I pursue with licensing with supervised hours in the US as a therapist. And if you know my story, I moved from Moscow, Russia, where I ran my private practice, where I work as a psychotherapist, and I moved to the United States, and the state was really high, and I wanted to see the numbers. What is available for me? What is on the other side? What I wanted to see if I'm able to support my family, if I'm able to create a difference, which I absolutely can, and what is the return on investment? Because I just paid off my tuition for my school in Moscow, Russia, and I had to double that price for my license, for additional courses, and also go under 3,000 hours of supervision. And I, at a time, I needed to see a therapist. I was also working in public sector. I was working with the people who needed me the most, with people with disabilities, people on Medicaid and Medicare. I was working at homeless shelters. I was a youth counselor. I was a case manager. I was a social work professional. And unfortunately, I didn't see a practitioner, a private practice that would make a difference. And I actually regret my choices. I chose to be a software engineer. And listen, it is a very cool profession. And I spent 10 years in tech and I learned a lot of technical skills, and I'm able to use those skills in my business and help other entrepreneurs with tech as well as business side and mindset side of business. But what I regret, and I wish other therapists would not have the same regret, that the joy is available to you. As a therapist, like, listen, we can bog down with insurance, with the system, with the crazy politics. I understand. I don't diminish the reality that we all live. And I understand your feeling, your craving to make difference, your craving to help the most vulnerable. And also, what I learned early on as a therapist, if you are not resourced, if you are not getting paid well, if you are not compensated well with your time, if you're not working with clients who you want to work with, because another harsh reality that I had to face, like, not all clients that I had like were necessarily clients that I really enjoy working with. And this is, again, this is a lesson as an entrepreneur for me. So if you are that therapist who are running private practice right now, and you're thinking, okay, what is available for me? And you're lending clients, you like your practice, and you're thinking about expansion, but maybe you don't see enough evidence in your reality. Let this podcast episode be the evidence that the joy is available to you. You can create such a great practice. You can create such a diverse income. Like, it doesn't have to be like one, it doesn't have to be just insurance. You can work with private pay clients. And one thing about therapists, right? Like, it's one thing to be a therapist. You are an amazing therapist, but there's another set of skills that every therapist should learn. And unfortunately, the school doesn't teach. It's a business skill. Like, right? What is your business model? What is your pay from insurance? You can create programs, custom programs, including therapy that is not sponsored by insurance, that is not based on insurance. If you want to keep insurance, you can create a coaching component. And in addition to your therapy practice, listen, when you see another life coach showing up on social media, making millions, and you look at them and think, seriously, Mel Robbins, like, really? And you are a licensed therapist who went through school, who knows human psychology, who've seen hundreds, if not thousands of clients, and you can do a better job than majority of life coaches who do not have a degree, who do not have the background, who don't understand how psychology and trauma and human behavior works. You can be the next Mel Robbins. If you like to teach, listen, I am that therapist who loves to teach. And if I were like to go back and get my license, I would teach, right? I would get to the point when I supervise other therapists and teach them how to provide therapy. Maybe your mind is so scientific that you can create your own method. Like IFS. IFS is fairly new therapy. And listen, we're not even close to understand a human mind. We might know the brain anatomy, we might know the brain physiology, but human mind, listen, we're still experiencing and we're still learning, right? Like spiritual psychology. Listen, my point is the joy is available. And also, I don't want to sell you a pipe dream. Entrepreneurship, like if you're a therapist, if you want to make decent money, entrepreneurship probably is going to be one of the most reliable ways you can make money. Like, just to be honest, right? Because public sector doesn't pay well, right? Other companies, like 9 to 5 can't pay you as well as private businesses, private practice can pay you, and you can diversify your income. What I know that I know that I know, if other experts, if software engineer can go on stages, can go on conferences and land consulting clients, private clients, so can you. If a beauty brand strategist can land amazing deals because she's so niche. One of my past clients, she was a brand strategist and she worked with Black owned only businesses. If she could land amazing deals and amazing clients that she loved working with, so can you. If you like to teach, if a software engineer could create a curriculum and a course that people would buy, so can you. Even in AI, especially when we have this AI era. Absolutely, it is available. Listen, if you are a therapist, connect with me on social media, connect with me on LinkedIn, connect with me on Instagram. Follow this channel because my mission is to empower other therapists to build joyous businesses, to expand businesses that they already built. You built an amazing business and the world needs you. Because we are like in the world, not just in the US. I am from Moscow, Russia. And it's so hard. When I moved to the United States, I thought, well, in the United States, it must be better because in the movies, you see psychotherapists, you see mental health, you see this conversation about mental health, but this is just as much as hard. This is just as hard as in other parts of the world. And you can also make your practice international, by the way. And this is something that when I was moving, I was not thinking about how I can create my private practice international. You can create so much and you can diversify your income. And it's about business skills. It's about self-leadership too. One important thing is when we are self-led, when we are leading with calm curiosity, compassion, creativity, all the 8 C's from IFS, the self energy, not the ego energy, but the self energy. And then we can create self-led business. And when we can create self-led business, then we don't have to be the operator anymore. We can be the business owner. And this is the next level for other therapists. That when you build a therapy business, you can be an operator, you can be self-employed, nothing wrong with that. You can run happy, wealthy, healthy practice as a self-employed practitioner, as a self-employed operator. But there's so much joy and freedom when you're a business owner and when you don't tie your business to yourself. And to be a business owner requires self leadership. So you can create business that will lead itself. So you can hire people who can lead your organization from the place of self leadership. So you can create a system in your business that is self led, that is has culture of excellence that people want to work with. Because if you ever work at any kind of like therapy practice, you probably notice they're good therapy practice and they're not so good therapy practice. And this is your chance to build self-led therapy practice. Or this is your chance to build self-led business where people can enjoy work at, where you can compensate people to live livable wage so they can provide for their families. Because listen, not everybody can be an entrepreneur. It's not for everybody. And by the way, if you're a therapist and you realize that like entrepreneurship is not for me, I'd rather work for somebody else, great. But also, you know what I know? I want to open, potentially, I want to expand my private practice to the point that I can hire another therapist and pay them six figures. This is the dream, above market average. This is what I want for therapists because I know if we're not resourced, we cannot be resourceful. And you can do it too. And there are many different ways to do it. Because listen, 10 years ago, if I look at the private practice and I saw somebody building wonderful, joyous private practice where they're making money, where they're building well, this is what I would do. I would like, first of all, I would calculate how much money do I need, what courses I need to retake, what state is most suitable for me for my situation because I have a foreign degree. And I would start taking those classes immediately. What is available in between? So, like hypnotherapy in a lot of states, except for Florida and other states, hypnotherapy is absolutely a pathway where you can either build a hypnotherapy business or you can be in, like, again, this is for me personally, but that would be a stepping stone. Then I would be seeking employment at private practices with other therapists, like either as a coach, as whoever, so I can learn the best business model for myself as I'm working on my supervised hours, as I'm working towards my courses, as I'm taking classes. And this is why I have this power, this fire in my soul, because I want to empower other. So do me a solid. So follow this podcast, follow this channel, and connect with me on social media. Send me a DM, say hello. I would like to hear your story. I would like to support you, and I would like to have you in my community because this is personal for me. All right, I'll see you in the next video.